Every year, the month of April is designated as National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Tulsa agencies are urging the community to recognize and report, as well as take measures to prevent child abuse and neglect. These local agencies are the Child Abuse Network, Court-Appointed Special Advocates, or CASA, Family and Children's Services, and the Parent-Child Center.
As we move into the month of April, which is Child Abuse Awareness Month, we at the City of Tulsa want to do our part to encourage people to look out and reach out to those that are in need. You can be the person that can save a child's life. And we're so thankful for the people that are willing to do that and for the organizations that are doing such hard work on this front.
Last year, Tulsa County saw 3,075 child abuse and neglect cases, an 8% increase over 2019. This was despite early signs and concerns over the impact COVID might have on intervention efforts.
In this past year of working, learning, and living remotely or in isolation, many of our community's youngest citizens have been at greater risk for physical, mental, and emotional trauma than at any other time in recent memory. Think about that. In any of our lifetimes, do we remember a time when the population of children was at greater risk?
Calls to the state's child abuse hotline plunged by over 50% at the beginning of the pandemic. However, case filings and reports in the second half of 2020 offset that decline, ultimately leading to an overall increase of interventions for the year.
One of the most significant concerns to us during this pandemic has been a massive reduction in the number of cases that have been called into the child abuse hotline here in Oklahoma. We're seeing fewer cases come through our center, but the severity of those cases has increased pretty dramatically. We've got concerns that kids are away from the caring adults who would normally watch out for them and make these reports to the hotline. All signs point to this pandemic leading to a child abuse epidemic.
The Child Abuse Network, CASA, Family and Children's Services, and Parent-Child Center of Tulsa all provide resources and services that help with the prevention, intervention, and treatment of child abuse and neglect. As the country began shutting down last year, the Tulsa Area United Way and these 4 agencies launched LookoutReachOut.net, providing resources to help recognize, report, and prevent child abuse.
The sad and terrible trauma of this pandemic year has created a renewed urgency and clarity to each of our missions, I believe. The important and meaningful work that we've all been able to do with families, caregivers, and children would simply not have happened without the support of our wonderful donors. And sadly, the end is not in sight. We are going to continue to need strong supporters by our side as what has happened to our children becomes painfully evident in the months and years to come.
The site includes tips for prevention, like urging families to take a break when they feel stressed, and reaching out if they feel overwhelmed before something happens.
Parents and kids have been under enormous stress this year. If you're feeling overwhelmed, we encourage you to reach out to your support system and know that we offer the Parents as Teachers Home Visitation Program free to parents in Tulsa and surrounding communities. Go to parentchildcenter.org to learn more.
Additionally, it includes links to the COPES Crisis and Emotional Support Hotline, managed by Family and Children's Services.
At such a critical time in the lives of families, it's important to know there is hope and help for those experiencing trauma, abuse, neglect, or separation from loved ones. Family and Children's Services provides evidence-based therapy services designed to address the struggles families face. Services are immediately available and provided through telehealth and limited face-to-face therapy opportunities.
But ultimately, the site is a reminder to the community on recognizing and reporting suspicions of abuse and neglect.
Be aware of the children you're around. Some of the signs to look for are sudden changes in behavior, unexplained injuries in different stages of healing, malnourishment, children who don't seem to want to go home, or children who seem frightened of a particular adult.
The Child Abuse Hotline number is 1-800-522-3511. Calling the hotline allows the appropriate authorities to open an investigation, gather facts, and protect the child if they're being harmed in any way. That includes physical, or sexual abuse, as well as inadequate food, shelter, or supervision.
If you know or suspect a child is being abused, you can report it to the Oklahoma State Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-522-3511.